Two Guys Garage Podcast. He is Kevin Bird. I am Willie B, and fired up, man. We're talking FiTech today. Kevin, we use this so much on the show. Matter of fact, season's about to kick off. Our inaugural show for whatever season this is. I think 22 or something. It's crazy.
22 years.
Yeah. Yes. It's nuts, man. But we're featuring FiTech in the kickoff.
Yeah, and not in a small way, in a big way. I mean, so we've got an original body style, 90s pickup
Old
truck.
body style pickup truck.
Yep, man. And those things are weak from the factory, but they make cool rides. And with all the C10, the earlier ones getting so expensive, man, these are getting super popular. But, when you're pushing around an old 350, makes, a couple 200,
nothing.
maybe 300 nothing horsepower.
If you're mad at it.
Swapping in an LS was on the list, and topping it off, complete FiTech fuel injection. So intake manifold, fuel rails, fuel delivery, in-tank pump, transmission control, ignition, everything on that bad boy.
Yeah, man. And as you guys will see, man, the truck is crazy because it's canary yellow, which I would never paint anything yellow. I just don't understand yellow on muscle cars or Corvettes. However, this truck actually looks pretty good. They did something unbelievable with the inner fender wells. You need to check out the show for that. I don't support that at all. However, you may like it. But the truck itself, from 5-10 feet out, you look at it and you go, wow, that thing really turned out clean, sharp, and that thing is going to run, man. A big part of that is due to the FiTech system. We've really clued into FiTech and how simple it is to put fuel injection on your car, because I truly believe that for a long time was very, very intimidating. However, with modern technology, with the ability to tune in your hand, with your ability to change settings, FiTech has really gone aggressive in making it simple, easy, and rolling out one weekend, rolling in on Friday with a carburetor, rolling out on Saturday or Sunday with fuel injection.
Well, I mean, just go back a couple of years. I mean, the challenge has been, we've had carburetors forever. We know all the benefits of fuel injection. But like you said, the complication, right? Getting on a laptop, tuning from scratch, all the variables makes it just really challenging for a lot of people. And then the price point, right? You go back a couple of years ago and you're talking $3-4 grand when you think
big
about,
money.
A complete system.
Yeah.
It's big money, and you're like, well, I don't know, used carburetor, $800 for a new carburetor. Now we're talking about, throttle body systems for less than $1 grand. Like literally you can have fuel injection running on your car for not much more than it costs a carburetor. And that's kind of a no-brainer for all the benefits that you get from fuel injection.
Yeah, no doubt. Heat soaking being a big one that, we deal with out here in Colorado a lot. Altitude's another thing. Mm-hmm. Michael, you probably deal with that a lot, right, man? People calling you because they're sick and tired and frustrated with the carburetor, heat soak, that barking, spitting, growling it does. If you drive it for 2 hours, park it for 45 minutes, come back, and, the intake's heat soaked, carburetor's heat soaked. You probably deal with that a bunch, huh?
Yeah, we get it all the time. I mean, one of my higher elevation guys, that's the biggest selling point is we have a built-in barometer in all our systems.
Yeah.
And it just, makes that auto tuning just that much easier.
Yeah, I still remember way back when in college, we used to race little formula cars, and, we did our first fuel injection systems back then. We, kind of designed our own, used some, simple aftermarket, in the early days of controllers. And we tuned everything in Florida, and we drove all the way up to Detroit, and everything was completely off. From the weather, the altitude, you name it. And it was like, oh, crap, you go to do the first run, the first race, and you're like, oh, quick, get the laptop, figure out what's going on. And, yeah, man, for this thing to adapt itself, and I think even bigger than that, just the learning aspect. Yeah. The fact that you can bolt one on and fire the thing up and just kind of watch it dial in over a number of minutes, a couple of drives.
We definitely pride ourselves on trying to make it the simplicity side of the user end as easy as possible. We give you, pretty much 4 basic questions and fire it up and drive it. One manual adjustment on our throttle bodies and our LS setups, which is, setting the IAC steps. I'm sure you guys battled that the first time you guys ever did it. But once you do that, you hop in and you drive.
Now, Michael, I'm sure because you probably get the phone calls saying, hey, man, the guys want to do something with FiTech on the show. Can you send A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all that stuff? However, man, it's so cool when we go to the studio, right, and we're getting ready to work on a project that we know we're going to upgrade the fuel injection system with you guys because you truly have a complete, really easy to put on, adjust, get the 4 questions answered sort of scenario, and get out and let the thing learn on its own. It really is not as intimidating as it just was a number of years ago. My question is, man, do you know how many times you guys are alleviating so much hell and headache for the carburetor guys? Like, that's got to be such a big moment for you guys when guys call you, go, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the carburetor. I'm sick of the, choking out and heat soak and all the crap that goes with it.
So
yeah. Are you getting those old timers that finally, bite in, finally do it, and then kind of go, why did it take so long?
You do get those guys, and I talk to them every day on the phone. I mean, I still answer the phone and make sales daily. And the crazy part is we're still teaching people fuel injection. So we still have it. When we release this product, Jeremy, the engineer, co-founder, he was like, hey, we're going to have to teach the world fuel injection now. We're making this thing so affordable. Everybody's going to buy it, and we're going to have to teach people fuel injection. And I didn't really grasp that when he said it until I started getting on the phone. And I started off in the tech department and taking phone calls there. And then, going from a carburetor guy explaining that CFM isn't as important in fuel injection to getting, these, you don't have to pump the pedal. You just get in, turn the key, explaining all these little things that you would think
nuances, right?
You would think they would just get it,
Yeah.
And it's been fun, but yeah, I'm getting 87-year-old guys calling me going, now telling me, hey, I hooked up the white wire to the key. I got powered here. I got this here. So how do I smooth out this spot? Those phone calls are the best.
Well, when you're talking about teaching people fuel injection, literally from what you guys are delivering and what people have to understand about fuel injection, it's like 2% of what goes into learning about fuel injection, right? If you go to any other type of system, especially in the old days, it's like going to an ATM and saying, well, you put your card in and you punch your code and then you tell how much money you want. That's pretty much the level of fuel injection knowledge that you need with your type of system versus like, well, what's going on behind the screen and how is it communicating and how is, all this stuff that's just mind-blowing to a new user that you guys have made the interface so simple, right?
We do get a lot of like the really advanced guys that call in. They're like, hey man, I need more tables. I need more and more. Well, we hide that. We hide that from the everyday user. So there's some menus that you can unhide on the handheld and then get in there and you can get really deep into our system. We try not to do that to everybody because we want this to be an everyday, any average Joe can get in here and run this thing. That's the target audience for us.
Well, that is a good point though. I mean, you can, because obviously behind the scenes, there's a lot going on. Anybody who knows the depth of fuel injection, but you guys have, again, simplified that for the user, but you can go in if you're in more of an advanced user. Is that a normal thing for folks to go in there?
I'll spill the beans. You go on our display setup in our handheld and scroll down, you'll see advanced tuning, and you just toggle over and make it say show, and then hit back, and it'll go into advanced tuning for you.
I think that's a huge feature.
My brother showed me a couple tricks on that, bro. It's cool. He's a big time tuner, so yeah, he's shown me a few tricks on that. I gotta ask, man, can you walk us through for people that are listening that may not quite understand? They've heard about FiTech, they've heard about switching over fuel injection, how much it's easier now. Can you walk us through the difference? Say, okay, you get a carburetor off. What really are the steps to getting this thing hooked up? And you guys listen carefully because it's unbelievably simple. It's much simpler than what you may think. So, all right, guy pulls his carburetor car in. He's sick and tired of it. It's not running right. Float boat's stuck. It's leaking gas. It's just a fire hazard waiting to happen. Pulls it off. Got his FiTech box there. What's step 1, 2, 3, and 4?
So we're gonna go basic. We're just gonna go like a Chevy 350.
Okay.
Just a motor that's out there all across the world and everybody can relate to it. It's pretty much, you're going to have to upgrade your fuel delivery. We're going to have to get a high pressure fuel pump in there.
And you guys offer those with the kit?
We offer bumper to bumper on 90% of the hot rods out there. We're going to hook up a battery positive wire directly to the battery. We're going to hook up a key switch directly to the key switch. It's going to be cranking. When you're cranking, it's going to have 12 volts. And when the key's on, it's going to have 12 volts. Okay, so that's wire number 2. We want to power the fuel pump that you just put in. So that's wire number 3. And then we need a tack signal. 350 is usually HEI. You can get it from the HEI tack output, or if you have a a conventional distributor, you can get it from the negative side of the coil. Turn the key and fire it up.
3 wires. 3 wires.
Turn the wire.
Oh, wait. You forgot the 4 bolts on the throttle body.
What? He started off that he already bolted that on.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Now, we do have a couple external sensors that we want to run. One being a coolant temp sensor. We supply that for you. And then the other one is an oxygen sensor. That's where we get our self-learning from. And we're going to want you to put that a couple inches behind the collector on either bank, whichever one's easier for you to get to. And then directions, it gives you the right angle and everything you're supposed to do. But we supply you with a bung that you can clamp on or weld in. I prefer to weld them in. We try to give you everything we possibly can in the kit for you to get going.
And they truly do, you guys. You could pull your car in, have this kit, open it up, throw these things on, and literally drive out with fuel injection. It's insane. So they get the system. With that system is a handheld tuner, right? Walk us through how they get that thing lit off.
Yeah. So once you get your initial wiring done on the vehicle, there's a handheld cable and a handheld. You plug the two together to the throttle body, and it's going to light up. It's going to say FiTech fuel injection, and the first screen that comes up, it's going to give you some options. Number 1's dashboard. Number 2 is vehicle setup. Click on vehicle setup. It's going to ask you some basic questions. Cubic inches. What do you got? So you type in 350. We're working on 350. Ask you cam selection. Now this is where everybody goes, oh man, I'm not sure on my cam. I don't know what's going on here. We narrowed it down to 1 through 4. 1 through 4, mild to wild.
Yeah. Do you have the 3/4 cam? Is that the option?
It's right.
You only get that in high school, Bird. You only get that in high school.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, the FiTech can tune down to just about any over-the-counter cam. The custom cams that you see come off, we do ask some information on that, but if your motor can make down to, they say it's down to at least 4 inches of vacuum, motor made vacuum, 4 inches, we can tune for that.
Wow. Nice.
Wow. And when you say it tunes, can you explain a little bit what's going on? Obviously, it's reading the O2 and how much fuel is burned, unburned, and whether or not you need fuel. But that occurs in a certain window, a temperature, a thing like that. So walk us through maybe anything else you may need to get the thing up and running and rolling, or is that it? Sign off, cross the T, dot the I, get the car and roll.
Well, there's initial setup. There's one manual adjustment after you do get it fired up, and that's called setting the IAC. IAC steps is what we call it. That gives the idle air control motor a home. Pretty much you're teaching at the home of the motor. That's the best way I could explain it. Then from there, the FiTech's able to control your idle. So if the idle air control motor doesn't know a base setting or where it's at,
right,
it would never be able to hit that target 800 idle or 750 or whatever you set it at. So it'd always be guessing. That's your one manual adjustment. And it's a Phillips head screwdriver. And there's a selection. We made it easy enough in our handheld. You just say, hey, I'm setting the IAC steps now. You turn that on. You go out front with your handheld, turn the screwdriver, dial it in between the range that we told you to dial it in between, which is 3 and 10. It never changes. It's always between 3 and 10, guys.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Pretty impressive. It's that simple, man. It's crazy. You would have never guessed that 10, 15 years ago, man. Think about how difficult it was to get, those old school systems, whether it was, I think Holly X or something. A lot of people were trying to have nightmares with it.
I'm dealing with a Howell system right now, and I got a guy switching over, making him a system right now on a big 671 blower, and we're going to go in there with one of our basic kits and make it run for him.
Yeah, man. Cleaning up people's nightmares. You guys truly made it simple and easy, and gave everybody an easy means to get fuel injection, which is awesome. That's by far the best. Got to make you guys proud down there.
Yeah, we're stoked. I mean, you got a bunch of guys that are in building that are all car enthusiasts, right? We're all hot rodders. We all have way too many projects, and we never get to work on ours because we're working on other people's. But hey, that's life. But I do want to say one thing about fuel injection. And I want to make this clear because, we sell a lot of them, and I want people to know what they're getting into when they buy fuel injection. Not only all the pros are there, but fuel injection will expose weaknesses in your vehicle. So vacuum leaks, exhaust leaks, stuff like that carburetors can cover up. We're going to expose it.
Yeah, but is that really a bad thing?
Should
you be running around with a bunch of exhaust leaks and vacuum leaks and, basically a really cruddy running motor, tighten up a few things, get it right, and then put the fuel injection on and go rip.
Yep. And then once you fix those things, it's the best experience you're going to ever have. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's the throttle response, the fuel economy that you gain back, the whole experience through the whole pedal versus just trying to hit that one sweet spot with the carb.
Right.
So you're saying if there's some folks out there that are a little fragile, a little afraid to look internally at their selves, their vehicle, and it's not quite, adequate, that they should maybe consider whether this is for them.
Yep. There you go.
Right on. Well, you know what really blew me away a few years ago when you guys kind of hit the radar for me? Your price point was completely blowing everybody out of the water, right? So we already talked about, just the ease of it. How did you guys, I'm sure you scanned the market way ahead of time. I mean, people have been working at this game for 20 years or more. What was it and what was your strategy that says, hey, somehow with all these smart players out there, multiple systems and companies, we're just going to come in and undercut everybody? How did that even... how do they even formulate? Like, did you not gut check at someone? Go, wait a minute, guys, maybe we're not really realistic here. What are we missing?
I got to give credit to the founding fathers, right, of our company. I mean, Jeremy and Ken Farrell is no longer part of our company, but he was a founder, and that guy had a vision that said, "I'm going to make EFI for under $1,000." He said, "I'm going to do it. We're going to make it happen." And few years in, we developed it, came out, there it was, under $1,000. We didn't go to market with it. We tried to sell it to some bigger fuel injection companies. They didn't believe us. So then we decided, well, you know what, we're going to business for ourselves. And now they're competing with us.
Shockwaves.
Like, that's a big shockwaves in the industry. Like, I know everybody just, doing the neck jerk, like, what? No way. Can't believe it. And there you have the price tag and the websites and everything. Like, I think everybody was taken off guard.
We still have our original systems under $1,000.
Hey, Mike, it was funny. I used to have a guy there, Jason, that worked there at FiTech. I used to have him on my radio show all the time. On Saturdays, my garage show all the time. And people, every time he would come on, people would call up and be like, BS, there's no way you're doing fuel injection for that cheap. And he would be like, watch, go to this website, look at it, see what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. So it was always stunning to watch people's reaction because, like you said, a lot of people couldn't quite grasp because the price point on other similar, components and setups were so much more. It was like, nah, that can't be for real. They've messed up. The SKU's got to be wrong. So it was always really fun to have him on Talk a Little Shop and watch people's reaction because it was dramatically different at the time. Now, having that price point has caused competitors to try to be more like you guys. But as far as having everything in the system complete, being able to roll in on a Friday, roll out on a Saturday, I don't think anybody has done it better than you guys, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I kind of mentioned this in your guys' Q&A that I wanted to touch on. And, we're so proud of what we've been doing and the development that we're doing. We're doing a 3-year warranty bumper to bumper on our product.
Whoa. Wow. Because, amongst that, I was going to say amongst the industry, I mean, I know there are challenges, right? And I know lots of people trying all kinds of different systems and they got to send them back and whatever. Like, to have that kind of peace of mind, 3-year warranty, like, okay, I'm covered. This is good.
What's funny is we were doing it anyways. To be honest with you guys, we were doing it anyway. So our system said 1-year warranty. And I'm going to say the only time I ever enforced that 1-year warranty was when I had an a-hole, like really out of control person. I was like, you know what? You're past your 1-year warranty. So but other than that, we take care of you.
I remember you guys had a couple of problems with pumps. We got pumps in surge tanks, and the nipple was broke off because it was plastic. Yep. And I think it was Ernie or somebody I talked to there one day. And anyway, he was like, man, we had a bad shipment of them. I'll get one right out to you. It was like that. Boom, done, repaired. So you guys, and that was, again, longer than I believe a year. So you guys absolutely do that. Take care of your people, want them to be out loving their cars. Because it's such a dynamic change for them to be able to drive it like they can with fuel injection.
Yeah, I don't want those phone calls. I can't enjoy my car. I want you driving into my booth at a Good Guys show and letting me fine tune it, which we allow you to do. I mean, that's every show we're at. Come see us.
I know I was very curious. The first system we got our hands on, I wanted to pick it apart and look at the components and see what's in it. And I mean, it's got all the industry standard injectors and sensors, and all the key components are the same type, same brand, same everything. And it's not like a bunch of flimsy plastic stuff. Like, it's legit. Like, I still don't know how you do it.
Yeah, we work hard to make it to, if you had a sensor fail on you, that you can go down to AutoZone and buy that same sensor.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and that's we did that on purpose. We didn't do it because it's an easy sensor. We did it because it's a easy access to that sensor.
Right.
Yep. That's
so
huge.
Hang on, man. I got to talk about some of these kits that you guys are doing, because we talked about a 350, pretty cool. But now you guys have really, you made it easy for the LS guys. And now, man, I don't know about you, bro, but where I'm at, it's LS swap the world. People are waking up with LSs in their closets, pantries, bedrooms, bathrooms. I'm like, look, it's another LS. They're just popping in everywhere. So, Michael, what was the calling that made you guys go, okay, since we're killing it with fuel injection, you have different setups for different applications, how about we make an easy to throw on LS entirety, like everything you need, from the intake to fuel injection, everything in between, like, to make it a quick and easy conversion for so many people out there?
Well, I mean, first you got to really thank the GM for making that LS base so bulletproof and easy to work with. I mean, they did everything possible to make an easy repairable motor.
And fit and everything.
Right? Yeah,
I know,
they
man.
did, all the way to the coils, to the yanking out a cam, throwing in a new cam, upgrading that. I mean, man, that is probably the easiest motor to ever have to work on. And with that being said, we saw how many vehicles were getting that particular block put into it, and then looking how accessible that was as a pullout when we developed our LS kit, knowing that it was gonna LS the world, like you said earlier.
Yeah, man, yeah. And there were a lot of people initially that were doing the LS swap, but they would put an intake on it and a carburetor on it.
Yeah.
Which, I've ridden in some really fast cars, LS swap with intakes and cars, but at the same time, you can't beat fuel injection, you guys. Everybody knows the headaches. So you guys really went out making something simplistic, easy, and it covers the bases for all the LSs.
Yeah, our entry level, I mean, just our wire harness alone, you can buy by itself and use it with the factory manifold that you get out of that yank out. And we can cover with trans control for any 4 series transmission on our base setup for $1,000, and that's a complete LS ECU, handheld tuner, wiring harness, everything you need to get it going.
And that's huge, right? Because there's some of us, Willie and I, we love 3 pedals, and there's a huge number of people like automatics, and to be able to have that trans control and to make it that simple, it's all kind of in one essential box. It all talks to each other. That's too easy.
Yep. And if you like 3 pedals, it saves you some money too. So.
Yeah. Yep. Right. Yeah.
Well, at least there, I'm sure we can spend some money elsewhere.
Hey, amen, man. When you're looking at how to do it, obviously you guys have made a lot of setups that, work in different applications. We do a thing at my radio station where we build vehicles and we give them to listeners. And they have a chance to win it. A couple of years ago, I built a Jeep on an old 81 Dodge frame fire and rescue truck, and I went with your surge tank system because for me, that was the easiest to get done and to happen. So I feel like a lot of people may not understand or grasp how and just easy of application you guys can help them with. So can people call up and go, hey man, I don't know about doing a drop-in thing on my fuel tank. I'm not comfortable, putting a unit in there. What's another option for me? You guys walk them through those processes as well?
Yeah, we do. I have a great team. My guys that answer the phone, they're very well educated in almost all vehicles, and they understand. They'll ask you key questions. Are you doing things off camber? Are you going off road with this vehicle? When they hear Jeep, first thing, are you going off camber?
Yeah.
And if you're going off camber, all right, we're going to get you into a surge tank for that reason. So you have no tank slosh issues. You have no fuel starvation or anything like that.
That's exactly why I wanted that system,
Yep. Yeah, and they work.
Wheeling. Yeah, they work great. They work great. Yeah. So explain what a surge tank is in case people don't know. Maybe you got, an off-road rig, you got no carburetor on it. Everybody knows the nightmares of that. But walk us through what that system entails for people that are into off-roading.
So the one thing it is the off-roader guys, I got something for them too. And we got some new product for them that's coming out. But a surge tank pretty much piggybacks off of your existing fuel delivery. So if you have a mechanical pump or low or any kind of pump, actually, already feeding your system, what you do is you're going to end up feeding the surge tank. The surge tank has a submerged fuel pump anywhere from a 255 up to dual 340s. We can cover 600 horsepower all the way up to 1600 horsepower with one of our surge tanks. And inside there, it keeps the pump submerged. No matter what angle you're at, it always has fuel in it, and it's going to supply the EFI unit for you.
Yeah, so your main pump, your main pickup might be exposed, right? But you've already filled the surge tank, right? And that is the key. So that little, basically mini tank, like you said, has a submerged pump in it. So it's got a certain run time that you could be sideways, upside down, almost whatever. Like it's got a certain run time to it that, you know, it'll get you through whatever hard cornering or, you know, ramping up something sideways or whatever. And your
massive
main tank
angles
could
coming
be
off and
completely
on rocks. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Big, massive, you know, you're pointing straight up in the air, baby. You definitely are thankful that surge tank is there to get up and over boulders, rocks, climbs, and so forth. We use a lot in that. But you said you had something new for the 4-wheel guys.
Yeah, we have a force fuel dual pump one. All my guys that are doing like the pre-runners or the runs out in the desert and stuff, they've been buying this setup. And the reason why is they run it with a redundancy setup. So they only run one of the fuel pumps. And they go out in the desert, they go do the Baja, whatever, and they always have a backup fuel pump already built into the system. And they just, if they lose a fuel pump, they just hit a switch and go to the secondary one.
Nice. That's kind of cool. All right. It's a lifesaver, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. And they see a lot of road race guys pick up these surge tanks.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more road race guys. I've been seeing guys, these guys with the souped up Porsches now, grabbing them and putting them up underneath their trunk lid. So when they hit boost, they have the extra pump kicking on to support their boost. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't do that myself, but have fun.
Yeah, man. But you're building stuff to, you know, people like us, people like to go fast, people like to get a little extra performance out of their rigs, man. They're finding ways to do it. You guys are complimenting all of it, which, you know, for you guys, you know, on your end, you're up against so many big companies, big brothers, man. It's great to see this little guy out there just whooping everybody's ass, like, you know, in the ring, like, bring it, bitch. Like, because there's companies with big names that buy everybody and just steal their product line, slap their name on it. You guys have been, you know, fighting from the dirt and ground up, and it's been really cool to watch and see.
We're still under 30 employees. That's
what?
Wow. Yeah, we're still under 30 employees. I almost hit 30 this last month, but they said you can do without it.
So as he says that, get on their website and look at the number of different products and SKUs, like, because it's not just a fuel injection system on the motor, the controls, the harnesses, all the fuel delivery. I mean, it's crazy. And you know, you talked about 1600 capable fuel. You know, for all the guys out there, like, well, I got a big motor. I need something bigger, more power. What kind of range can you guys cover? Because you've got dual throttle body setups. You got everything.
We're on Volkswagen Bugs all the way up to 1400 horsepower vehicles right now. I mean, that range covers a lot of part numbers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you got to be real serious to get above the 1400.
And on April 1st, April Fool's Day, we're dropping 500 new part numbers.
Whoa.
Yeah, figured April 1st was a good one to do it because no one's going to believe that we can do that.
And you got less than 30 people in your shop. Dude, y'all killing it, man.
All right, can you give us any sneak peeks? Like, what is new and hot that's coming out?
So we got it's called a dual sync setup that's coming out, 24 dual sync. So this is a small block, big block Chevy distributor replacement, so you can run coils. So then what we do is
big block Chevys, what's up?
Yeah.
Then we run an LS platform computer on it. So now you got this more robust computer on there. We got coils running each cylinder for the spark. And then you got a nice little block off black cap that says FiTech on the back, and that's just our cam pickup, the dual sync. And yeah, port injection, badass little setup. I have it on my orange truck right now, and I'll tell you what, I was ear to ear. I picked it back up today from upholstery.
Tunable spark too?
What's that?
Full tunable spark?
Full tunable.
Wow. So you're using the distributor, you know, drive and everything in the rear?
Yep, we're using the drive just to pick up a signal.
Yep.
And what you say you put it on your truck, and what happened?
Well, I'm ear to air smiles. The the last 2 times I've driven it. I'll tell you, that thing is snappy, man.
Wow. Damn. All right. I got a couple Dart 572 big blocks in old school cars with, the old school big, Holley HP 1050 on it or something like that. Another car dominated. So I'm ready to pull that garbage off, man.
Well, we got that Nemesis. The Nemesis is close to coming out. When you guys see this Nemesis, and we named that for a reason. Nemesis is 4,500 platform, 16 injector, throttle body with interchangeable venturi, so you can get different spray patterns.
Wait. 16 injector throttle body?
Yep, up to 16 injectors. It has dual throttle position sensors in there. It has dual idle air control motors for you, so it can take those big radical cars, and then it can make it streetable for you too.
No.
So this thing is just going to be
No
nuts.
way.
Yeah.
Wow. So when does that come out? When is that available?
So it's on our drag car right now. So we've been doing R&D on it. There's a couple more things we want to tweak on it that we want to slam dunk this one. I don't want to send it out there half-assed. We want to send it out there and you just blow these guys away. I'm hoping May that I have my orders I have people that already pre-ordered this sucker. I hope to have product in their hands in May.
Wow. Dude, big moves at FiTech, man. How happy are you guys?
No doubt. We're on a run here, Willie. We're really pulling out some scoops. So anything else that you can leak out before, because everybody's going to wait for April, but anybody on this podcast can be like, I already know.
Currently, a lot of people don't know is we reamped our current throttle body ECU. So the current throttle body ECU, we took the drivers off the board and moved the relays off the board and put them in a relay box to the side. Now, what that just did is give the longevity of our throttle body system. It's pretty much endless life now, right? Other than maintenance, you might have an injector you have to change down the road. You might have, a sensor that goes bad, but now you don't have a main board relay. Right. So now you can just service a relay off board, and we were able to put more robust, bigger one in there.
Nice. So is that going to be standard across the board then coming?
It's already in play.
Right.
It's already in play. We just did it as a rolling change.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right. So before we run out of time, man, how do people find out more? Give us the social sites. Give us the website. Give us where everybody needs to check out the latest product you guys are busting out at FiTech.
So our Instagram's always happening, and that's just FiTech_EFI. That's huge. That's where you see all the newest stuff. Our website is FiTechEFI.com. We do have a newsletter you can sign up on there that's been given all the scoop and all the places that we're at. Again, we will tune your vehicle. If you have a FiTech and we're at a show and you say, hey, I don't like something, we'll go out there and do it. If we're at a booth, you could pull your car right up in our booth and we'll figure out what's going on.
That's pretty sick, man. You mean one of the 30 people that work for you will be at that booth to dial it? That's customer service, y'all. You don't get that.
No. You don't get that nowhere else. I don't see anybody else out there doing that.
No, man. All right, well, hit up the sites. Check them out. If you guys need fuel injection, just trust us. We use them all the time, on show, in personal cars, lives, and builds. These guys are awesome. They just truly are great at making a product you can be proud to put on, know that it's thorough, know you're going to get all the tunability and performance you're wanting out of it, and bang for buck, you just hands down can't beat it. So check it out, FiTech. You said the website was what?
FiTechEFI.com.
There you go, FiTechEFI.com. Make sure you check it out, and make sure you check out our TV show airing weekends on the Motor Trend Network. Check your local listings. It's also available on Motor Trend Plus, which is their streaming format. Easy way to get us there. Thanks to our guest, Michael from FiTech. He's Kevin Bird. I will be a producer, Scoop, and executive producer, Bob Ecker.
Yeah, don't forget to check out our website, too, twoguysgarage.com, and share your thoughts with us. We're everywhere on social, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, at Two Guys Garage. The Two Guys Garage podcast, it's copyright 2023, Brenton Productions Incorporated, all rights reserved.
Hey, Michael, one side note question for you. Atomization with nitrous. I got a couple cars, nitrous. I'm thinking about putting y'all's FiTech system on. Any change in that? Do I need to hit up and do a bunch of tuning on it?
It's not insane. We can set up a table to where when nitrous goes on, the system knows and it'll go to that table that you want, the AFR targets that you want. It's pretty easy to set up.
Okay.
We can get
call you on that, man. I'm gonna call you on that when I move my charger over to
we'll make Jeremy get involved.
Okay.
We'll get the engineer on it.
All right, Willie, I got one question for you. So, I'm a huge fan. I grew up on carburetors. They're cool and nostalgic in their own way. But would you ever buy another carburetor in this day and age?
So I would have to say yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is we're in the middle of developing an e-carb. So it's just a really, it's really dumbed down version of a fuel injection setup, but very basic, like one wire setup system to get this last 15% of the market that refuses to get rid of a carburetor. We're going to go after that market too.
So there'll be no excuse after that.
No excuse. So.
And I'm like,
it's pretty slick looking.
Hey, I'm sitting here going, man, a carburetor is still decent for what it does, man. It still gets righteous performance out of it. But it's just
buying one. Yeah, could you look at the price tag and you're like, if I'm going to pay $800, would I just get?
I got an $800 EFI system. I mean, it's
no way.
When you go apples to apples, and I will tell you what, your top peak horsepower is always, as of now, going to be better with a carburetor. So if you're going straight line, and you're hitting that one target for horsepower, carburetor is going to get you there, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably get you off the line faster. I'll probably get you down the track, but I'm not going to match that same horsepower.
But drivability, street ability,
we're talking not by much.
I like
all the other things.
I like my cars to start. That's what.
Yeah, dude. You know what I mean? I got some nasty old Mopars. A couple of them still have carburetors on it, and I'll go drive them through town and into town on cruises. And I know if I've only been sitting for an hour, I'm gonna go back out. And that thing's gonna spit, bark. It's gonna cough and sputter for about 40 seconds, man, while I get cool gas to it. So yeah, man, I feel that pain. I understand. That's why I love you guys. That's why you guys have changed the game. That's why we so deeply appreciate what you all are doing over there, man. Keep up the great work. And we'll catch you on the next Two Guys podcast, bro.
That's awesome, man. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the time.
All right, buddy.
See you guys out there. Take care.